IVM.
Shunya One, a show on technology by Aditya, a man who was actually called technology and then renamed at the age of 14. Of course, his number skills or numerical skills are challenged because there's Shunya, there's 1, there's also 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, didn't get to that. But Shunya One, Aditya. New episodes out on the IVM podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Kripaya dhyan dijiye, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
On Cock and Bull, we have Siddharth, we have Sriraam, we have Amit, we have Rajiv, Lakshman who won't leave. God, we have too many people. Please take one of them home.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
Yep, on Cock and Bull, which used to be Cyrus Says, it's time for me to rant before I let in the guests, or as I like to call them, the dogs of war. I've been thinking as a dietitian, since that's something I do post 6 o'clock in the evening, I advise people on nutrition because that's my thing. I've come up with another, I think it's a gift from my side again to society, and that is, if you want to eat less, keep handy. I've tried this. Don't joke about this. Try it first and then say, okay, it may be funny. Take a piece of gum, let's say fusion gum or any chewing gum that you can find, Wrigley's or whatever. Keep it on the side. When you start eating, let's say you're eating egg curry rice. So you have a bite, you stop, you chew the gum. You put it back down, you have another bite. You chew the gum. You won't believe what happens. If you normally eat 22 bites, you'll actually have only 11 or 12. I have seen people actually stop after 2 or 3 because the smell of the gum doesn't work with the curry. So you lose your appetite completely. So you try this, keep the gum handy, you have to do this as a discipline. After every bite, you just have to mentally be strong and say, I'll do it. And chew on the gum for a second. Okay? Don't worry about what people say. Don't worry about the looks. It's for you. Think of yourself. Put yourself first. You come first. You want to lose weight? Follow my advice as a dietitian. Chew gum in between bites. It's called Cock and Bull, which is largely what I've just said. We'll be right back after this break.
Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Careers in the New podcast series presented by Accenture. I'm your host, Aditya Mukhopadhyay. In this podcast series, we'll get you the latest and greatest in the world of technology that's shaping the future of business as we know it. We're talking intelligent platforms, cloud, AI, blockchain, extended reality, and a whole lot more. Every fortnight on Wednesdays, we'll have for you a hot topic with expert speakers from Accenture talking about top trends in the space, how these are changing the world and creating growth across industries. And importantly, we'll tell you how you can learn more, build your skills and expertise to grow and stay relevant in your career. Episodes out on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcast from.
It's messing. Actually, we can talk about this also.
We've started, Amit, by the way, while you guys are discussing positions and not sexual ones.
No, I mean,
very interesting.
You're sitting in a different spot after doing how many episodes in the studio?
It throws people. In the gym, in the locker room and all that, if you move your bag, people in the frame, if you change your position, people knife you. I mean,
it's freaking me out, right? I mean, you're on my left.
I'm doing this for the greater good. The government talks about greater good when they decide to, break a road and send one tree down or, a capsule in the middle of the road, whatever. This is greater good because Siddharth can't take the air conditioning, so I'm taking it on my broad back.
Siddharth got his hoodie.
I got a hoodie, yeah. Abhini helped me with one.
Now, as feminine as that is,
recording gangsta.
Rap is dead. But let's quickly introduce everybody. Rajiv is, we've got him, Rajiv Lakshman of Roadies, and now he's got Skulls and Roses out. Please go and take a look.
He's going to appear on your show.
He's still to appear on my show. That's right. Wow. Let me ask him, will you come on my show? Super. Even though we recorded it. But great stuff. Good. Sriraam, who's a comedian, a pioneer, and a man. He's an insult comic. He just goes on putting me down for some reason.
That's just the way I feel about myself and I will project it on other people.
That's as insulting as you can get by calling me you and you me.
I'm insulting, but I'm equal as well. So.
How can you be? Your name is Sriraam. And Siddharth is back after a little hiatus and also comedian.
Yes.
Is there anything else you do?
Nothing. And I host Water Player. It's a show. Comes out
every
Wednesday.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a podcast
Siddharth's job here is done, guys.
Yeah, I'm done, guys. It was nice seeing you guys. See you guys apocalypse next year.
No, but this is 2 weeks in a row that we had What a Play on Cock and Bull. I think 3 weeks in a row because you had Akash
So we're really
the first
pushing,
week, and
yeah.
then after that you had Mikhail, and now you have Siddharth.
And
So
third
much-
time's the charm, so you know.
No, we have to change the scheduling and the timetable.
Yeah.
These guys walk out and we walk in, and obviously hold one back. That's very clear. Okay, Rajiv is very bored. He's playing with himself, which is not a good sign. Normally he plays with Raghu's, but Raghu's not here. Where's Raghu? Why does he give us so much attitude?
No. Raghu is traveling actually because of our launch and promotions and stuff.
So where
and
is he
because
going?
we are two of a kind.
So you came to
we
Car
can
for a
divide
podcast.
and conquer.
You came to for a podcast to Car. Where did he go?
He's in Bombay, but he's in
But you
town.
said he's traveling.
He's town.
You fucking truth. Let me go around the room here. When he says he's traveling, who thinks he's traveling from Bandra to Colaba? Who thinks he's traveling to Delhi? Rajiv, this is a real shindy, if you don't mind, as we used to say in the 80s. All right, are we ready? Should we rock and roll? I began this rant, which you all weren't here for, talking about diets, because I keep hearing people talk about diets all the time. It's huge these days, the new fad diets. And I've come up with my own.
Right.
I'm putting it out there. If you're interested, you chew gum and eat at the same time. You chew gum, then you have a bite. Chew gum, then you have a bite. It works. It just kills your appetite.
Does the
That's
gum
right.
not get destroyed by all the food particles?
It does. The taste is all over the place, but you lose you just don't feel like eating after some time because it's all mixed up in a wrong way.
Okay.
Actually, during my school, one of my teachers had the opposite theory. He said, if you chew gum, you send the signal that food is
On its way.
on its way, and your
So it's an
digestive
appetizer for cheap people.
and you develop acidity.
हाँ, वो तो होता है.
Huh.
How is that a negative?
But if you put...
No, but he said it very differently.
Yeah.
He said when you chew, the brain says food is coming, so the blades start cutting, and the kidney comes in the way, and then you die. That's how he said it. I swear.
This is Delhi, boys. This is Delhi education in the 90s. No, one second. Delhi education in the 90s, which brought us roadies. Put it all together.
Cutting the blades.
But do you remember one segue? Sorry to be personal because we go back a long way.
Yeah.
We shot in, I think it was Sriraam only, Sriraam College, and there was
Lady
this one,
Sriraam.
Lady Sriraam, and there was one teacher, very famous guy, I think English, or one of these guys who likes to sing, and not knowing MTV and all properly.
Yeah.
So we, and he said, "Mujhe gana hai," and all that. So we said, "Okay, we put the thing, give the mic to him." And he started singing a KL Sehgal song.
Yes,
and we couldn't stop him. It was 6 minutes he sang some Asman
Was he on
aage
roadies?
piche. I don't know. God, we were looking at each other, wanted the balls to say, "No, sir, stop." Of course, we never heard it, but it was hilarious. It was so out of sync with what we were trying to do.
I'm pretty sure that was like a mole by B4U or one of those.
Yeah.
Today is the highest
That's
paid
today's
executive
MTV,
in
actually.
Siemens.
Yes.
Did you
That
keep
guy
it?
will do well in today's
You must have
MTV.
kept
Couldn't
it,
keep
right?
it. Amit, you don't understand how disgusting these guys are when they're producers. They want me to play the bad cop. So with his head, he's telling me to cut him. From behind the camera, he's telling me to go to the professor and take the mic off and stop him. Because our tape is getting wasted. Nobody cares about all this. We only worry about the cost to company. Already one tape, we have about 36 minutes or whatever. 10 minutes went in this. And then that sweet professor, he thought his moment had come. This is before
he told his
he explained the
family
Ghana,
and
explained the romance, uske piche aage kya hai. And in between, he sang the whole song. Including the extra verse, they didn't have the movie. Oh, mate, it was terrible. And this guy behind the camera is telling me, the hand, the universal sign for behead the guy.
So you were his producer?
Yeah.
He was my boss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then you went from producer to presenter.
Both the boys were... we did a show called MTV, which nobody watched. But we shot 37...
A lot of people watched.
37 colleges across India. I got an education which I'll never regret now. But I went all over, including... I can't tell you, northeast to south, everywhere.
Yeah, right now, from where I'm sitting, I can see 90s in front of me. Like,
180 actually.
It's interesting. Amit was asking Rajiv, "Oh, so you're the producer?" And then you became presenter. And Amit is Cyrus' producer right now. And then, so
he's
that's how
gonna
you
be-
make the
well
step
done,
up.
Sriraam. Well done. So
We'll talk later. We'll connect on
Amit is
LinkedIn.
going to be Roadies 3. Excellent. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's start with our subjects, our topics.
I think we wasted enough time
Yes,
now. We have
okay.
time for just one subject. Make it count.
All right, so let's talk about the Chandrayaan-2 loses contact. ISRO is
The best
applauded
part
for
is
the effort.
on our show week that wasn't. We have to pre-shoot the gag sometimes. Launch. So we did the Chandrayaan happy news of the superb triumph, etc., and a parody on that. And then late in the night, I get a call saying it's not landed. It can't be found. Our gag makes no sense. And how we panicked. I was so angry with the government. Because I thought they were tom-tomming too much. Firstly, and I don't know. There's some 10% failure rate. In all this, it's pretty high.
60% success rate.
60% success rate. So I'll do the math.
No, also the first time you're
160
doing one
from
from a specific country, the first time a country is doing one, the failure rate's even higher.
Okay.
So it's
Actually, the interesting thing about this whole incident...
He comes from a scientific background.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a choreographer, but
No. The interesting thing about this whole incident is that Pakistani science minister mocked us on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and he got trolled by the Pakistani Twitterati.
Oh, that's
He
interesting.
got silly trolled, and everybody was like, you know what? You can't become successful by mocking other people's failures. At least they are trying. What are you doing, you stupid science minister? And I really
ISRO guys are
appreciate
taking
it.
the weight of that whole thing.
Yeah.
And the
No, but I
government
don't
was
think it's a failure at all. I think it's a
not.
very successful first attempt.
Yeah, and they
It's
did
dress
land.
rehearsal
Like,
for
PT Usha
success.
Is
coming
it the
forth.
first attempt or the second attempt?
It's the second attempt in September alone. But why point fingers?
No,
It's
the first
a dress rehearsal for success.
It's
Yeah.
a first
Life is a
attempt to
dress
land.
rehearsal for death.
So
Can I be more
India
cryptic?
has sent around the moon before, but this is the first attempt to
And,
land.
try to land
it
on
has
the-
landed. It's just that they've lost contact.
They've lost contact.
So it's in Beijing.
If you get into the moon's gravitational field, it will land.
Well, but the moon doesn't have that much of a gravity.
Yeah.
One second.
Yeah.
Sriraam, what is your background? Just for the record. I know Rajiv's background. You're a hotelier. I'm just saying, what the hell did you guys study? We're pontificating about fucking science here. None of us can even put our finger in our own
Cyrus,
rocket.
I'll tell you my point, all right?
Bolo.
I feel after... See, this was like a big thing, right? Modi was present there.
Yep.
Trying
He was
to-
there early.
Yeah,
He's always
He was there with the kids in
And-
Bangalore
yeah,
waiting
and
for the
I-
rocket.
and now
It
I
just
feel-
sounds wrong.
now I feel he's going
Kids,
to-
where's my rocket? Throw rocket! Joyo!
He's going to cut down the ISRO budget by such a number, I feel, because he's like, this is why I sanction statues.
You're a bastard. So after
They
hugging the
don't-
guy, you're feeling him.
You know,
Oh, God,
like,
that's terrible.
This is why I sanction statues.
mean.
You know, they land on where I want them to land. You know, there's no like separate parts that need to come out.
Oh,
depending
yeah.
on-
Yeah.
And I feel next thing we'll land is we'll at best I think we can go to the lithosphere.
Yeah. There's no vote
That's
bank
the
on the
best.
moon or
But
something.
yeah,
They
pretty
need to
much,
take
yeah.
care
Technically,
about.
ISRO had formulated this plan during the Congress zamana. So technically, the blame goes back.
Yeah.
If you really want to.
It goes back to Nehru only, no?
Also,
everything.
Rahul Gandhi was also missing at the same time as the orbit, so I don't know if that can be connected in any way.
So, what do you think about the picture and the viral and all of that? The whole
Hugging.
Modi hugging the.
Well,
Modi
what do you
hugs
want him to do? I
everything.
suppose in that situation, the guy is crying and all. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't be Mother Teresa, but you know
And
what I mean?
Modi loves hugging anyway, right? So it's win-win.
Yeah, I was focusing on the scientist, but yes, okay. I felt really bad for the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody did, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, he's that hard-working scientific mind that India is normally proud of. That you can actually look at and say, okay, not bad. There's lots that you can look at and not say that too. But it's sad. What can you do?
Yeah.
His life's work sort of gone.
I
So
just
fired us,
wonder. I just want. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I feel that's what. Like he hugged him and like.
And then in the
yeah,
Khan
just say goodbye to your wife and kids.
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah,
the feeling
it
you
always-
got.
yeah.
You know, like then that's why you saw in the middle of it. He shifted sides from right to left. Like, oh, the camera is that side. Okay, I'll take him on the left side of my shoulder.
Yeah.
The
That's called
camera
the
is there.
tango. When you take that's how you dance. You
Yeah.
start
So
from-
that's, I think, that's the only thing that kind of annoyed me a little bit, right?
But
That-
politicians will be politicians. What do you expect?
Yeah, no, but so I mean, there was a guy in the background, right, and you could see that the second this hug happened,
That's Chidambaram.
and the
Applying for
other guy
bail.
started-
That's a different story.
The other guy's like,
There's an
"Come on,
S
come on."
Chidambaram.
Yeah, that I was like, man.
Sorry.
So I didn't like that part so much, right? Other than that, I mean, like I thought that's what a leader should do, right? I
But
mean,
Donald
like,
Trump would have done worse. He'd have said, I'll find the
this is
rocket and
not-
get back
but
to
I
you.
don't think he did anything bad here, right? I think
Yeah.
he did what he was supposed to do, right? I mean, like you are supposed to.
And it's not
control
about the
scene for
government.
this.
It's actually
It's
about the
actually,
scientific
I don't think
community.
ISRO like cares about the government, or they've been doing their job, because if they ask the government, they like put some Gaumutra in it.
And in any case,
put
they have
it
another
on-
chance now. We have Diwali coming. Right? Sorry,
Yeah.
I cut your gag.
No,
Diwali coming, so
my
lots of
gag.
rockets available. I mean, you can...
Yeah.
Stop it. Your gag was better. Rahul, no to earth.
I feel like that's that's an interesting thing in terms of. Sorry, what were you saying?
I don't think the
My
government
question-
is known for science. Out
Exactly.
of all the things
So
it
I
would
feel,
be
but
known
then,
for.
but then at the
Well,
same
they've cut
time,
the budgets of all people who work in the... If you know anybody...
So at the topmost level, they really need to have good rapport with these guys so that the budgets still get approved, so that they as an entity.
Sriraam, tell the
function.
truth. As a Tambram, well, you're a comedian, but as a part of an intellectual background, sort of, there must be somebody who's a scientist in your family.
No.
Get the fuck out. Because we were really counting on you, brother.
Yeah.
We were counting on you.
Yeah, some insights into the life
I got
of a
Gujaratis here.
scientist.
There's no science coming.
I'm Sindhi, man.
You're Sindhi, oh, yes. And your contribution to fucking science, Sindhi?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Hiranandani complex, they look like satellites, but it's not really science.
Did you guys look at the whole coverage that was there and that green screen that the channel that one
Deepak
TV9
Chaurasia.
TV9 was, it was right. I think.
Deepak Chaurasia is what I remember.
Yeah. I think that's his
But
name.
it's the voice that they use. At least the English guys. The Hindi guys actually were better. The English guys are very funny. You know, and if you look at it right now, it's orbiting somewhere, and we don't have precise information to give you. I mean, it's just hilarious.
Cyrus,
it's like Virat batting 99, you know? I mean,
since you mentioned the week that wasn't, you have to pre-shoot a lot of the gags. Arnab Goswami had readied a Shillong Philharmonic group.
Yeah, which won the Indian Idol.
So they had to sing the Vande Mataram when...
But it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Because at night...
So what's your backup song for that?
The Shillong Philharmonic group ready to sing a Vande Mataram when Orbiter lands. And they're like, okay, so are we doing this, guys?
So what's the backup song? I think there should be a backup song. You're paid for the guys. They're very talented. They're standing there ready to sing.
Not everyone is blessed with Rajiv.
What are you going to do? Oh, that's... God, how can we laugh about this, Rajiv? Show some sensitivity. Guy was crying on air. No.
Arnab Goswami is fair game.
Yeah, Arnab's the best. I mean,
they could have just sung like Baba Black Sheep or Happy Birthday, a neutral song and things. You know, we got the talent, we got the people. Let's go.
They could have sung that same song that the professor sang when you guys went.
KL I wish I remember it. It was very, very deep actually, very slow. One of those where the second word takes half an hour to come. You know, that one of those.
That was very good, Cyrus.
All the 70s
I've often mistaken for KL Sehgal when I walk the roads. Bandra. This is the worst show ever.
Shall we move on to...
I got Rajiv here who wants to pontificate. He's a very opinionated man.
Okay.
Rajiv gets into fights for nothing with catering staff. Because he'll just make some politically incorrect statement.
Cool. So, Rajiv,
Like
what do you think of this? I think the most burning news of this week. Watching porn inside the Indian Assembly is not anti-national, says the Minister out of Karnataka. What are your thoughts on
Is that so?
That is so.
that's
He
what
said this
he
in
said.
Kannada.
Watching porn is not anti-national.
Yeah.
I agree with
Parliament?
that. Inside the Parliament...
It's unprofessional. Let's get our words right.
Right.
You're a parliamentarian and you're supposed to be sleeping. You shouldn't be, actually watching anything.
Yeah, like don't do it on
anti-national-
taxpayer money, like do it at your own time.
Anti-national is a bit of a stretch, you think?
Also,
Because it's more about-
so it's his own statement. Now, he made the statement saying it's not anti-national. It's not anti-national.
But we didn't
it's
say it
not-
was anti-national.
Yeah, nobody said it was anti-national.
It's just, they're just guilty.
He has to stop watching Arnab's channel. Those words only come there.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about anti-national.
Not everything can be
One or the other.
colored with either
exactly. This
national or
is just-
anti-national. It's just
Okay, I'm gonna put it out.
stupid behavior.
Yeah. May I
It's
ask-
pathetic, immature, and frankly revolting.
Yes.
No, but let's
Agreed.
ask
But not
the room.
anti-national.
Let's ask the room. If you're a
Yeah,
parliamentarian,
you're really kind towards those.
Rajiv was like, it's pathetic, it's
guys, what-
outrageous.
you don't remember?
I feel like killing the man.
Sriraam,
but not
Sriraam.
Waiting for the day there's a controversy against Rajiv and he's being
fucking
called
comedians have to
anti-national
shut
right,
up
left
and listen.
center.
He was part of the Aam Aadmi movement right in the beginning.
Yeah.
He and his brother both.
Yeah.
Like in a very active way.
So he's definitely anti-national.
They made him wear the topi. All ended then.
Technically, that's India against corruption, the movement. No, that.
That birthed
Aam Aadmi Party.
That was Britain. They left and the corruption stayed.
I feel if you're in Parliament,
Can you
and
change your
let's-
body position because you look like Marilyn Monroe, but
Hey,
your
come
face
on,
is so
man.
different.
Yeah.
It's like Homo
The
erectus.
show
more
needs some
Homo
dichotomy,
erectus,
and God damn it, I'm bringing it.
If everyone's going to use big words, I want to say clairvoyant for no reason.
But the thing is that the big word used was wrong. It's not dichotomy.
Dichotomy.
It's diversity.
Diversity.
Yeah.
Sorry. Also,
Listen.
dichotomy in sexuality.
Dichotomy
No,
is something
dichotomy
else.
is
Sriraam.
Like I said, no scientist in my family. Amit just pointed out. Right,
I'm
case
now
in
worried
point.
about that family. I want to see what they've done with their lives.
No English teacher also clearly.
Which I thought was my strong suit, but that too is not the case.
Parliament. I'm saying, it can get boring. I just want to play devil's advocate. You're sitting there for hours. Someone's saying the same thing again and again and again. Or they're just having a personal fight about your auntie is very ugly or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's going on. I mean, then you start looking at your phone. I'm just saying, it could happen. You're actually trying to look at news. Bomb in Beijing. Terrible, terrible. And then by mistake, bomb and it went to something else.
I mean-
and next thing it's like, hot bomb in Hawaii. And,
And honestly,
watch.
I want to ask you guys because it's like an all guys thing. How many times have you watched the news and been like, I'd rather watch porn?
I keep Pornhub on 24 hours a day. I only put it off when my wife enters the room. Because then she realized that men have really large, and I don't want that competition on my head.
I have a stand-up video on Pornhub, so that is one other thing which,
You want to promote yourself?
How about that?
Wow.
No,
Does
You're
your
parliamentarian?
video feature in Pornhub?
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
If I go to Pornhub, I can
It's
look at
called
your...
One Man Disappoints 50 Onlookers.
Wow. So it's about me. You didn't even ask permission.
No, I feel if I were in Parliament, I would definitely watch porn. because it has the best Wi-Fi in the country.
Yeah.
And it is not anti-national.
Also, you have
not anti-
and you have
that's
those,
only
guys. They have those big speakers on.
Then it
which
must be
supposed to
yeah,
understand
patriotic.
other languages.
Yeah.
You don't. You just plug it in, and
Exactly,
you're
it's
like,
brilliant.
yeah.
I think there's everything
Some
going.
ASMR kind of
Yeah,
stuff
it's
happening
perfect
there.
sort
with
of
the
Would you
headphones.
go with like S&M stuff and like midget porn and that kind of crazy
I'll
stuff?
depend
or
what's the
would it
what's
be
the,
more like
what's the agenda for the day? What are we discussing on floor?
Corruption porn.
Yeah, corruption porn is one. Yeah, it's like yeah. Do you
what is
want
the
to
future
pass
of
my
porn
bill?
financially?
That's a,
Vikas porn.
Vikas porn.
Oh, back with the Aam Aadmi Party.
We are all waiting for this Vikas porn to
Little
start.
jack on the side, yeah.
Vikas porn is.
Vikas porn, you win.
It's stuck at the 99%, which doesn't.
Rajiv still has it. We're going with Vikas porn. It means everything.
All right, let's do one more and then we'll take a quick break after this. So Trump cancels peace talks with Taliban.
Yeah, because a US soldier died, right? There's
there was
I
an
think
attack that happened.
the attack that happened, 11 people, including one US soldier.
Yeah.
So it became like a personal thing. I think a little bit of this brownie points back home. You killed our soldier, now we cancel talks.
Yeah.
But how do you, with the Taliban?
No, how
I
can
think
you-
the question is
the-
how do you have talks? I think that's
No,
the...
but the strange thing is, you're on Twitter, you're taking credit for not doing a meeting. that nobody knew was
Sriraam,
happening.
fuck off. We got another comedian. We don't need you.
Nobody knew what was happening. Like,
Super.
I didn't bomb any country this week.
Guys, see, I did nothing. Well done.
I did nothing.
Actually, America must be
Actually,
praying for
doing
that. You know,
Yeah.
Trump does nothing. Yay!
I think people would jump for joy if Trump did nothing for
Nothing,
a week.
yeah.
I think the Republicans would really be thrilled if Trump did nothing.
More
But-
golf courses.
No, but his point, the paradox of trying to have chats with the Taliban in
Right.
any case for peace, it sort of goes nowhere. Firstly, they're fractured. They're not exactly like one Taliban with a board of directors. They have a Monday morning meeting, town hall, and say, okay, today we bomb only these two sites in Kabul, after which we go straight to Russia and get a cinema. And then 4 days off for cricket, because we play Bangladesh and won our first test match.
Where's the
They
porn?
won the
then?
match.
There's porn everywhere. You don't worry about Sriraam, you're safe.
Across
Yeah, it's
the
Taliban's like Taliban Parivar, right? Like they have many factions.
Right.
I'm just saying, I didn't say anything else.
You're right.
I just, yeah.
I've spoken to Ekta. We're looking at it as a possibility. Might bring it back. Let's see. Yeah. So, no, quick word on that. So, the whole idea of trying to talk to, effectively terrorists, because that's what they are. I mean, they're not really a
Well,
civic
there is a
society.
problem. Okay,
Yeah.
they kuch to rada hai wahan pe. And I guess dialogue is the way forward. But I feel Trump is, and that's my personal opinion, which I share with millions of people, I guess. But
Siddharth,
Trump is the wrong guy
learn.
to have
Any
a
talk.
sophisticated dialogue with in
Well, he
such a
tried with Kim
complex
Jong-un.
problem.
Yeah.
They met twice, Kim Jong-un and him. Nothing happened, but anyway.
But there's an interesting theory around in political science just generally, right? When somebody comes from a extreme, he has more room to kind of move other people into his direction, right? Into the center. So basically, if things are extremely polarized, then the possibility of movement happens more when there's somebody who's more extreme. And I think that is...
So there's more of a
because
gap,
the
you're saying, so they can meet somewhere.
You can kind of get people to the center so that when somebody comes who is non-Trump, at that point in time, the positions are not so far away.
What about the Taliban? Can you trust them? I mean, like I said, they're fractured. They don't have
but
one.
There has to be an underlying sentiment of reaching a consensus.
That is true, right?
Which is not there. You can't have a secret meeting, suddenly cancel it and say it's their fault.
And you can't react to every little thing. Not little thing, it's terrible, somebody died, but you can't react to it because then nothing will happen.
Exactly.
Because a lot of that is done purposely by certain factions to not make things happen.
But then
like in my
that's-
building society, when this one guy on the ground floor gives trouble.
I just
Similar,
suggest that we should
Taliban
have
meetings.
Taliban roadies. And that's going to solve. Tu banega Taliban
They
sale.
took out the Taliban from roadies, if you notice.
Honestly, I don't see the difference. No, but I feel isn't this something to do with the fact that they are withdrawing troops from Afghanistan and hence they want
they want some sort of stability before
Yeah,
they go.
They've been
So they're
withdrawing
trying to-
troops for years now. I don't know how many are left there.
they
But then
keep-
on the other hand, once the troops go, what will happen? Afghanistan again become a bloodbath. Everybody fighting.
which is why you have these peace talks to have sort of some amount.
That's
of
okay.
stability.
You can have secret. You can arrange secret peace talks. You can cancel them also. Why announce it on Twitter?
Like it's a championship.
Yeah.
I didn't go for peace talk today. Screw you.
Don't you think World War III will also be declared on Twitter?
On Twitter.
That's how it
seems
started.
But not Twitter. I think it'll go to Insta.
on Insta.
It's got bigger viewership.
Like the bomb, I think
And poor Facebook,
IGTV.
they're World War
Insta
II.
Live.
Also old.
Facebook's going to ask you to spend money. That's what they do, right?
Who's the terrorist now, mister?
All right, okay, I think we should take a quick
I think we
break.
should. We're
Yeah,
talking too
and
much.
then
I'm
we'll
going to
come
ask the
back.
comedians to tone it down. Amit?
Yeah, we'll come
Raj,
back.
Jeev. Tone it down. We'll be back.
Are you looking for India's most awesome cricket podcast? Are you now tired of listening to the same old guys drone on about cricket everywhere? Edges and Sledges is a weekly cricket podcast hosted by 3 fans of the game, Varun, DJ, and myself, Ashwin. It was established in early 2018, has over 60 episodes now, and is of course now proud to be on the IVM Podcast Network. Each week, we get together from 3 different time zones, the USA, the UK, and Singapore, and we talk about things from the world of cricket, with a focus on Indian cricket. We often interview special guests from all around the world, including former cricketers and cricket media personalities. So check out Edges and Sledges, the cricket podcast, now on the IVM network.
We're back after a huge break. As you can see, everybody's really pumped for the second section. Yeah. Huge topics to discuss, like the girl in the bikini in Poland.
What is the girl?
Oh, you stopped. All of you stopped. I just made it up. You stopped. You sexist bastard. See, this is why I prove again how you men think. Otherwise, if I told you the crocodile jumped, onto a field and ate a farmer, nobody cares.
Right.
But the moment I said woman in bikini, Poland, and everybody awkward pause.
What about that crocodile?
This position changed.
What about that crocodile?
It's a true story.
Yeah? What happened with the crocodile?
He ate up a farmer in somewhere. Near Cal.
Oh, right. Then even you got distracted with the girl in the bikini.
No, I like the crocodile story.
Hey, wait, there's a girl in the bikini.
But I make up my stories.
I have an inappropriate joke about farmers, but I'm not
Please go ahead.
Anyways, he was going to commit suicide, so... That's why I said it's inappropriate. I don't want to
From point of view of comedy, great, but really insensitive. And considering the time, every single government has done so much for the farmer and delivered so little, you come into the same category, so I can't refuse.
I feel there's a movie to be made about like Breaking Bad, but for India, where there's a farmer who starts growing weed.
Super successful. And I know a lot of Bollywood actors who do it, so what's the biggie?
Cyrus,
and even their farmer's not going to get money.
Just not out of work actor is different.
You're the closest Bollywood actor I know, sir.
Really? You don't know anyone?
No one.
You don't know, like John Abraham?
It's you, and I'm waiting for Siddharth to break through.
Kamala Hassan?
He's not Bollywood.
He's done 7 films?
Dude, Chachi 420, man.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Technically, he's Avai Shanmukhi, which is a Tamil.
Oh,
you racist fuckhead.
He's done some Hindi, right? So he was in that movie with Rishi Kapoor and Sagar.
He was in Jeans also, which was also Tamil.
Jeans was not him.
Jeans is Arvind Swami.
I saw it in Hindi.
Arvind Swami is like his grandson in age. What are you talking about?
No, there was, what about that movie? That was also Hindi, right?
He did Sanam Teri Kasam.
Sanam Teri Kasam.
Sanam!
And even his first movie was Hindi too, right? Ek Duje Ke Liye.
There you go. That's the biggest one, actually.
That's not his first movie. That's his first Hindi movie.
See, he transcends language. That's why he made Pushpak, which is a silent movie.
We should do that for our podcast, Pushpak, coming soon. 3 comedians with nothing to say. But that is effectively our
almost
logo.
Impossible.
And I have great expectations from his party, which is Makkal Nidhi Mayam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's now an active
You're
party.
telling me that DMK and AIDMK are going to let him grow?
Yeah. He's
Let's ask the only so-called Tamilian.
The only failure or a non-starter in Tamilian politics is Rajnikant. Yep.
Well, he pulled out.
A failure?
No, he's not a failure.
Yeah.
He's a non-starter.
He did this pretend to start and not. Yeah, so it's different. But Kamala Hassan has a chance?
Yes.
Next local elections?
Definitely.
I think party
DMK will
fared
sweep.
Look at Imran Khan. He took time in politics.
Yeah.
That is a very, very strange sort of story compared to everything else. And a little bit from left field. Nobody expected him to win this time either. I don't know how he won. We still don't know.
No, we do.
Oh, we sort of
military.
Know. Yeah, but you know. Military can vote twice.
All right. Did you guys hear about the controversy over Sacred Games and Netflix and ban Netflix?
Yep. No. Tell me about it.
So
you're on Amazon, right? Okay, go ahead.
No.
Well, so I haven't seen this season of Sacred Games, so I didn't read the article too closely.
Nobody's seen Sacred Games 2.
Dude, it's supposed to be quite good.
Only you're saying that. Everybody I talk to is like, I couldn't see it.
Yeah,
I think it's
Ask Saif Ali Khan, he said, dekha nahi.
Anyway, why ban Netflix?
So ban Netflix because the villain of Sacred Games this time is a Hindu sadhu, and they feel like the show was anti-Hindu.
And by banning
The character, you mean, the
Netflix,
character.
what will happen?
Nothing.
I think there's another show called
The
Leia.
Huma Qureshi one.
Yeah.
Are we like 4-year-olds?
No.
It's Leela.
Yes. So now
Is it Leela, Leila or Leah?
Now the movement
Not
to censor OTT platforms has gained steam because of these 2 shows, which is Netflix, Sacred Games 2 and Leia, which also is based on a book which
I've seen
talks
that
about
show actually.
Yeah. But nobody said it's right-wing
Nothing has been.
They just called us and stop insulting us!
But I'm like, you guys, how are bucks affording $650 for Netflix? Like, is my question.
But why
There's a
ban
$199
$650?
plan now, no?
Netflix is $650.
I paid 117.
There's a $199 plan now.
What?
Yeah, you're paying too much. Where do you listen?
Where are you paying 117?
We already paid the first time long ago.
You must have gotten it free with something.
Yeah, they give us some crap. Like,
Yeah,
give
you
away
must have
a
got it with.
mother-in-law, you get
I
the
think
thing.
you
I
get it
think-
with.
I'm paying quite a lot, I feel.
I think
you are.
instead of
Are you
instead
going
of banning Netflix,
Right.
I think they should be punished by lowering their subscription rates.
Yeah.
Drive them into losses.
Yeah. No, but
I have
While
a
we
problem.
enjoy all the shows.
Can the
How about
government...
that?
Can the
That's a good
government...
idea.
You
There's
just
no
made-
content.
You
Yes.
just made anti-Hindu content cheaper.
Can the world's government, can the UN come together and give us a list of people we can't make villains?
Yeah.
For example, priest, sadhu, whatever. You just put the whole list down.
Yeah.
And then the creative people can get to go, we can't do.
Yeah.
So what do? You attack the Parsi or something. Some
Then
you
we
think
end
can't
up
fight
with
back.
MTV. No one deserves
We'll have a
that.
show where
Sriraam,
Asaram
we
Bapu is
built
like
a
the
generation.
hero.
Yeah, we have many
The
Not in
Kurd
India.
blood, the Kurd blood.
Ram Rahim.
Ram Rahim, we have too many heroes. Asaram, Ram Rahim.
Yeah, but he's not in any credits because it takes too long.
Okay, I think the bone of contention was that is Netflix anti-Hindu?
No.
Okay, let's
Anti-Hindu?
extend that.
That's a bit
I think
rich.
that's the main sort of. Let's extend. Is Netflix against every religion as such? Are they
It's
like
anti-national.
atheistic?
Yeah, they are the
Are they
anti-national. Yeah, that's a
Netflix
good
watches
question.
porn in Parliament? I'm so confused, Daddy. Explain to me what the fuck is happening. Netflix has its own phone.
You can say that Netflix is also anti-Osho because they made a documentary
Yeah, so
about
they have
Sindhi
like
problem. But he was Guju, no? Was Guju or Sindhi?
He was, I think, Guju.
Decide
Yeah.
fast. Claim him. 99 rolls.
Like they have Spotlight, which I think for the longest time it
It's
talks about the
anti-Catholic.
so
Or is it anti-Catholic or is it anti-child molester?
But you can make the
again,
leap.
it's like,
You can make the leap
it's
if you
like
want
the
to.
Taliban and roadies.
It's like Lakshman. You can make leaps and put
ludicrous.
everything together at the end of the day.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it's a
what the hell?
ludicrous idea, right?
See,
I was saying-
here's
sorry.
the other end of the spectrum. You have Sadhu being portrayed as a villain and say ban Netflix.
Yeah.
There's another show called Sriraam Ke Love Kush.
Okay.
This is on TV.
This is on TV.
Brought to you by
There's a
Sriraam.
protest
It's
that
a
happened.
religious show. Okay?
Not
It's a
Sriraam.
mythological.
Yeah.
Okay? Where Ram is the hero and everything. What can go wrong?
Tell me.
Something
There
went
have been
wrong.
violent clashes. People have been shot. There have been lathi charged.
Why?
Yeah.
They were just wanted banned. Because
Why?
Something
I-
about
nobody
Valmiki
knows.
has
Which
happened.
channel is
Valmiki the writer?
Colours, I think.
Yeah, the
Colours.
writer.
Oh.
This has
Colours
happened
is like
in
6
spelling was
episodes.
wrong.
But imagine
Punjab,
that.
they've stopped the highway and stuff like that.
What? Why?
And they
That's
want,
why there was a whole bun.
Yes,
Yeah,
recently.
I'll tell you.
And Valmiki's name is not on the credits?
I'll tell you.
I guess.
I'll tell you. And they're demanding the arrest of the makers of this thing and
But what is
apology
that
for
bone of
everything.
contention? Kuch to hai na? There must
See,
be something.
that whatever it is, understand this.
It
If
does-
you make Netflix shows,
Yeah.
you get called for ban.
Yeah.
You go to the opposite extreme, the safest corner in the world, which is Hindu mythology,
Yeah.
and this happens.
Yeah.
So where do you go?
Yeah, we don't make anything.
Make
we
a
just go
film.
to the parliament and make porn.
We make porn for the parliament.
parliament, yeah.
Very nationalistic sentiment.
But without any villains.
Although if we have a rule where you can watch porn only if you reach
Question
parliament,
now.
then it'll
Maybe
it'll give us a better
the first
set
10%
of,
who
like,
attend parliament are allowed to watch porn.
Yeah,
So,
then
yeah.
we'll have a better set of
Parliamentarians,
politicians, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great.
Also,
rule.
maybe we draw the line because we're like a society which is progressive.
Exactly,
In that
that's
sense. Only single X allowed.
Then
not,
later,
not double and triple.
Only
Or is that
Indian
again,
porn.
I mean, that's our
Yeah, yeah.
generation. They don't use all
Only
this
Indian
anymore.
porn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What about the Indian porn industry?
Huh?
Yeah, what Indian porn?
Yeah.
Why no Indian porn?
It's called Oyo rooms, I think.
Oh, your room is on camera on the side.
Another sponsor gone. Thank you, Sriraam. Hope you're going to pay for this one. Yeah.
But I think your OTT point is interesting, right? The fact that they're looking at more and more ways to kind of figure out how to censor OTT, right? I think that one of the things that we saw recently, and which is something that I'm kind of a little worried about, is the
Too much power the people have.
But
right
it's
now.
happening.
It's gone on its head.
Guys
So
are-
they
talks.
made a policy where in a digital news company or digital media company which does news and current affairs, you cannot have more than 26% FDI. So this is, I think, again, the same
But that's
kind
not
of
what
thing.
Nirmala
right?
ji
It's again
said.
a way to
Nirmala
establish
ji said you can have
control.
as much
That
FDI
is
as you
true.
want. I heard the whole budget.
No, but not in digital news when it comes.
Oh, so there's lots of writers there. What the hell's going on?
So it's like basically the last 3 lines of the press note they put out is
mutual funds are subject to market risk.
Essentially, digital media and news and current affairs has been brought on par with what is allowed in the print media, and contrasting it to television, where you're allowed 49%, in digital media only allowed 26%.
I think it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
And but fortunately, the solution already exists. It's called the dark web. Dark web has
allows you anything.
No, it's risen as a response to this kind of a control mechanism or the desire to control. And that's where you will find the most. Dark web is obviously a lot of other things also happen, but a lot of political commentary, a lot of free speech happens on the dark web. And now our shows are going to be on the dark web.
We can go the other way. Let's make shows on the white web. And it should be like, Iranian television in the 70s or whatever. Just a rose and nothing much happening. I mean, I could do so many episodes. Hibiscus, episode 2. You take your time slowly.
How do you get to the dark web? I tried www.darkweb.com.
There's Tor, which is
you have to rub yourself and say the magic words. Halla gulla paatshalla halla gulla. We all love our paatshalla halla gulla.
There's actually a documentary. There's actually a documentary in Netflix called The Dark Web.
Okay.
It's quite interesting. You should watch it.
Okay. Before it gets banned.
And the biopic is The Dark Web Rises.
So the dark web is not as easy because you have to do like some hardware integration. You can't just connect it to like a website.
Yeah, and I've heard like people can hack into
Can right-wing fundamentalists get into the dark web or not?
That can happen anywhere. So I mean, like hacking is something that you have to kind of figure out how you're going to live your digital life, right? In some ways, if you are going to be.
You guys take this offline, you're bored.
Huh? Sorry, what?
Father-son talk. Son, you will learn how to hack.
This is not a good advertisement for the dark web, right? That's the conversation.
I'm worried. Amit's knowledge is more than it should be. How does he know everything about the dark web?
It's complicated to figure this shit out, man. Read a Google article. Google an article.
Actually, I've made a show on the dark web. It's a web series. It's called Aisha. It's just finished its 3rd season. So I did a lot of research.
Yeah.
So for that show, we did a lot of research on the dark web, and it is fascinating. You guys should check it out. Everybody should check it out. Dark web is a happening place.
Yeah, and check out Aisha also, guys. Plugging it.
That's my wife, you bastard. Don't check out Aisha. This is my wife. This is nothing sacred. Fuck you. You're off Netflix. You're off Netflix. I'm going to stop a road in Punjab just because of you.
All right, let's do another one. So you guys remember the Bangalore moonwalking thing last week?
Yeah.
So that caused the road to get fixed.
Where he shot the gutter and whatever.
When he shot the whole kind of moonwalking pattern.
Amazing.
They got the road fixed.
I think that's the right way to
Is
do
this what we need to start doing?
This can go on the dark web.
Yeah.
I mean, the road before you fix it, not after. After it's gone our way.
So I think the broader question over here is around the idea that do we need to kind of create social media noise to get like basic
By the way, this
done?
idea first came out in Russia, in Moscow, I think, if I'm not mistaken, where these guys shot the thing and they put it up as a parody or whatever. Exactly like this, maybe not the moon, but something similar. And then immediately got these great reactions, a lot of support, and then the government felt embarrassed. So this is where satire, almost in a sense, really works, and something happens.
And if it can embarrass the Russian government, I think it can do anything.
Yeah, that's true. Although the Ukrainian government was forced to fix it because they've got their own.
So I find it interesting, even like, other companies that you have to deal with, right? This is governmental, I guess, and this is BMC, right? But even other companies you have to deal with, if you shame them a little bit, the responsiveness gets much higher, right? So I'll give you an example. I needed to get something done from a mobile operator. I'll not name Airtel. But basically, I needed to get like some address change and stuff like that done. It's like you have to go to their showroom 3 times to get the shit done. It was fucking ridiculous, right? And so then I kind of did like Twitter thing around it. And immediately somebody called me, got it done on the phone. I didn't have to do anything else after that. And this is like, what kind of customer service prioritization is this, right? Just because somebody makes some noise on like a different place.
But here's the rub in the whole thing, The whole thing is about digital and mobile culture, and they make you stand in lines and physically walk and all that. It just doesn't work. You have the phone. Everything should happen on the damn phone. I don't understand why you have to go and stand in pouring rain and take a number like a loser and hold it. And they say 17 and you're like, 11, okay, whatever.
They made us do this when we had to do the Aadhaar registration on all these phone calls, right? If the phone is on your name, you had to go and stand in line, and I had to stand in line for like an hour. It's like annoying, man. I mean, like
I had a worse moment in 1999 or 2000 when Sahara Parivar party. I had to do the Sahara Pranam thing. Where with your knuckles, you go against your heart and you hold it there. And then you say the Sahara Pranam as he passes and all that. I had to do it. I was like emceeing it. I could not do it because they were looking at me. I tried to say other things in my
the
mind.
advance payments had already come.
It's not about the payments. It's about going home, brother.
Now it's happening in jail.
In those days, if you're in
Did you call
Lucknow,
him Sahara Shri?
you have to.
You have to call him Sahara
You
Shri?
can't call him by name. Are you crazy? Everybody calls him that.
In jail
But
also.
now it's different. Now,
Yeah.
now it's
You have to
different.
call him
Yeah.
Sara Shri.
Sahara Shri.
And there was always people around him and all. It was very intimidating.
Now he's
he was
called
very nice,
Sahara
actually.
Shri Kaidi number 792 or something.
It's 1792. It starts with Malia. And all right, are we done? This is very interesting.
What was the initial point that we were discussing?
Nobody cares.
I
Nobody
think
listens to
we
the show.
were at the Moonwalk video.
Moonwalk.
Oh yeah, the moonwalk.
Chandrayaan
You've
2
never heard the show,
walk
have you,
video.
I feel it's too tedious as a process. Where you have to look at what is trending on Twitter, get a fancy dress competition going.
Yeah, man, just dressing up.
Yeah,
as
just dressing up all of that, then shooting a video, then putting up. I think
Editing.
For every astronaut
You're
pothole
right.
video, there
At
are
last,
20 others.
I salute you with my upper body. I salute you, and I'll tell you why. Because at last, there's a comedian who's telling the truth. We are comedians because we don't want to work.
Yeah.
Everybody should understand that. I hate these professional comedians go, I work hard, I spend the whole night, I write this, I write that, I observe people. Fuck you. We are comedians, we don't want to work. And fuck you, Bangalore, for doing that. Not Bangalore, the city, but that guy.
The guy,
You just spoiled our name, now we have to work. Editing. We do edit on top of that.
And the thing is, on top of all of this, there'll be like 800 other videos of people who've dressed up near potholes, which has 3 views on YouTube.
Yeah.
And those are never getting
And better shot because our dad is rich.
Like a drone
They
shot.
got 2 wedding photographers who come and shot
You're
it for
not even
12
going to
hours.
fix that shit. Like 3 views is not worth it.
Get to at least like 400k.
Yeah,
Then we'll-
we'll fix it.
All right, cool. I think that's
done.
good for now. Let's go
I
to the
think-
AMAs.
Let's go to the AMAs.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another awesome week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, just a reminder, please do make sure that if you're listening to something that you enjoy, take a screenshot of that, tag us on one of our social media handles, and we'll retweet you or share you or, I don't know, whatever works in the different handles, right? On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit Verma is joined by social commentator Santosh Desai. They discuss the many ways India has transformed in the last 30 years. On Advertising is Dead, host Varun Dugirala is joined by CEO and co-founder of Big Bang Music, Gaurav Wadhwa. They discuss his journey from advertising to marketing and music. For more music conversations, make sure you tune into 9XM Soundcast, where Eva Bhatt talks to Bollywood singer Vishal Mishra about learning to play 22 musical instruments without formal training. On Marbles Lost and Found, Zen and Avanti are joined by psychologist Gitanjali Palekar to talk about mental health for toddlers and preteens. Mental health is also a topic of discussion on the Pragati podcast this week as Pawan Srinath talks to Dr. Sabina Rao and Pavitra Jayaraman about mental health challenges that face India today. With only a couple of weeks to go for the Emmys, join Janice and Anirudh on Mr. and Mrs. Binge Watch as they start their 3-part series about the Emmy Awards. This week they discuss all the nominees in the drama category. On our Kannada podcast, Thale Arate, Tejasvi Udupa joins Ganesh and Pawan to share stories from the last century of Bengaluru's growth, its planned layout and unplanned settlements. On Pesa Vesa, Anupam is joined by Sanjay Sapre. He's the president at Franklin Templeton India. They discuss the 25-year journey of Franklin Templeton and the role of mutual funds. On the Kinetic Living podcast, Urmi shares a very intense workout called Quadruped to Plank on Tabata Tuesdays and her own experience of attending a heels dance workshop on Thriving Thursdays. On Tech Careers in the News, Shiladitya is joined by Sudarshan Rungta. He's a managing director at Accenture and he's in charge of the Oracle practice. They discuss Oracle's capability and impact in the real world. On the Edges and Sledges cricket podcast, Ashwin and Varun review the India vs. West Indies Test Series and the standout performances by Hanuma Vihari, Ishant Sharma and Jasprit Bumrah. Also, if you are in control of a brand and you want your brand to have their promos read on our podcast network, do get in touch with us. You can write to us on advertisers@indusvox.com. And with that, let's get you onto your show.
If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
And here we are with the AMAs.
This question is from Mayur Patel. The question is to everyone at IVM. Why are you not starting a premium subscription based on service with no ads at all? I've been listening for a long time now and the ads have become annoying in between the shows and I keep skipping them and it's really annoying. Please get a nice premium subscription for
This
at
is
least
for you.
Cyrus Says with no ads at all. You can even start
Amit, answer this question.
I know. Okay, we'll start thinking about doing this.
That's your answer. You sound like the government.
Well, no, I'd like to do it, but I mean, like, dude, it's not that simple, right? I can't just say, okay, premium subscription, let's just do it. Snap a finger.
Because
It's
on
done.
3 people alone, we can't live.
I think the AMA questions are getting so good. Like, I mean, Amit, hey, why can't you get like, better investors in place almost
I know, that's what
like,
I'm
have a
trying to
series
say.
Why
3
why don't you give yourself a raise?
It's better than the old questions which would be like, are you funny at home? I mean, the answer sometimes, what kind of question is that anyway? Who's funny at home? You've been home.
But I mean, like, I'd love to have a premium subscription. It's something that we'd like to do as part
What would
of the
you charge?
plan. For this show, so I think
This could be the funniest joke of the show.
No, but this is so seriously. Tell me, guys, send write back and tell us what you think of this, because this
Are
is
you
what my
nuts?
thought is.
They're going to kill us.
No, I'd like to know. No, so what my thought is that basically, instead of doing a premium thing, what if we give them 1 extra episode a week? Right, and then kind of make something like that, and then give them an ad-free feed as well.
I would go for that subscription.
Yeah.
I would go for subscribing
like,
without ads.
Something like maybe so for IVM as like the entire network, I was thinking something like $1,000 a year. Right, so that we can kind of give you without ads.
Do the math, Sriraam. You're the tam boy.
It's actually we make a lot more money
If we
per
have 1
user
lakh
on
per
ads.
people into 1,000 rupees, how much is that? You can't even do it, can you? You failed. Friggin', you're out of the
10
community.
crores,
You're not allowed in the whole of South India. Forget
Science,
Chennai.
English, maths, everything's gone.
Gone.
10 crores.
Yeah, but you got this guy, everybody's family is an engineer.
Yeah.
Oh, engineer. All of them. And this guy is a comedian with us on the podcast where we don't have subscribers. And now we're laughing because we can't get ourselves to say a number. It'll be 11 rupees. I don't know what is the right thing.
No, I think 1,000 rupees a year is fair for the entire network if we do it without
I wouldn't pay
ads.
it.
Huh?
I wouldn't pay it.
Well, we're doing it without ads, right? You don't listen to that much podcast. If somebody is a regular podcast listener, then they're listening to
You think
like
people pay 1,000 rupees
10
for podcasts?
Yeah,
they
For
make
the whole
us-
year.
Software.
for the full
Total
year.
software.
Yeah.
For a full year.
podcasts are really picking up, and if you have a network with so many varied podcasts, I'll find something for me.
What a reverse
So we
compliment.
want-
Not your show, you bastard, but kuch to hoga.
I just imagine this conversation in a Karnataka parliament. Porn is really picking up. If
So
there's no category
subscribe.
for me, I'll find something.
Ban IVM, guys. It's all
Why can't we do a
anti-Hindus.
porn podcast, yeah? We review porn and
there
all. I
are
don't mind
lots of
doing that.
porn
I'll
podcasts.
put my heart into
There
it.
is a
The name Cock
podcast.
and Bull was not a coincidence, Cyrus. That was the original
Sriraam is no
idea.
engineer. Now we know why.
That was the
but
original idea.
there are a couple of porn stars who do podcasts. I can't remember their names, but there are a couple who do podcasts.
Well done, Amit. You know everything about them, but you quietly
No, but
said
I
you
don't
can't
know
do
that. I know that it's one of these people who is a porn star who has now become a writer around like sexual issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember her
It
name.
may be
The Lebanese American girl, yeah.
I'm not going to start naming because
Mia,
this is really
Mia.
long.
Huh?
Mia
Khalifa.
Khalifa. Mia
I
Khalifa.
don't.
There.
don't-
my
no,
brother.
I don't think it's
She's
her.
quit porn and she does podcasts.
Okay,
Right.
It's possible. I don't know that, but it's possible. I mean, like, it is
I've
something that
written
is.
to her.
She's not
Yeah.
American. I mean, she lives in America.
Lebanese American.
Yeah, Lebanese. Yeah.
Like some of the few of them I follow on Twitter, the porn stars.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead,
They hate Pornhub apparently because they are extremely wild. Like it's a tube channel, so they don't like give you the monetary dues that you deserve.
Oh,
One sec, are you dying?
most tube channels. Yeah.
I studied this stuff a little bit, not the porn part of it, but the business model part of it. And Pornhub actually has some of the most innovative business models for a tube stuff, right? So there are things where you can become fans of individual porn stars, and then you get special videos for them, which there is a payment for. You can become a premium subscriber for different things. Then there are ways for different porn stars to talk
And they
to
give you an
directly.
autograph, nudograph.
Huh?
Autograph, nudograph.
What do you want to talk to them about?
No, I mean, like, as in, like, basically
acting?
you become. It's kind of like, they'll do. You can get. There's basically live direct communication ways to do things. So they've
Okay.
actually
So it's direct marketing
really
in a sense.
innovated on the business model around
Okay.
how
It's a
these
cult
kinds
following.
of find this.
When I was growing up, like John Holmes was a household name.
Right.
Today, nobody remembers him.
He has
don't
homes
know
in
who
his
you're talking
name.
about.
You can't get more household than
There you go. Not to mention the world's most famous detective. Yeah.
All right, let's. This is a really interesting question. This is from Seeker42. What is the kindest thing anyone has ever done for you?
Wow. Once
This is
I asked a girl out and she said maybe. I remember that. I thought that was beautiful. Because I think that's the most frank answer because generally they don't want to say yes anyway.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe it was great because it's better than not in a million years. I mean, you guys must have heard that. Sriraam, not in a million years is so. Like million years? Really? Am I that bad? And if I come back in a million years, you'll still say no? I mean, that's so sad. I mean, you'll be so old after a million years. I won't be asking you out.
But I think this is an interesting question, everybody.
Yeah.
What's the
Kindest thing.
We all
a
have
very
to
tough
say
thing,
no.
whatever comes to
Okay.
mind.
I know, putting you on the spot.
Everyone's on the spot,
No,
right?
Did anyone give you a second chance to
I-
fail an exam, that kind of thing?
Yeah, no, I seriously have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't remember. And
I think
look
Rajiv-
at how cynical we all are. I'm sure people have done kind things for me.
When you shaved your head, I remember saying you have lovely hair.
Yeah.
That
You had lovely hair, you told me.
Yeah.
I know.
Let's go to the Ram boy.
Oh, the kind of things done to me, I'll tell you what, okay? I was in a rickshaw in a signal, and this homeless person came up to me, looked at me like, I'm not asking money from this idiot, and then walked away. I thought that's the kind of thing someone could
He
do.
rejected you.
They looked at me and like, yeah, I shouldn't be asking money from this like poor person.
So you were sensitized to your plight.
Yeah,
Fair
that was
enough.
very kind of
That's
thing.
beautiful.
Very kind of thing.
I don't know about any kind things as such, but yeah, my friend got me whiskey recently, so I thought, like, he got me.
That's what he
bottle.
came up with.
Yeah, that's the reason.
I can think of a lot of unkind things to say to you right now. I want to say nothing.
Yeah.
Amit, anything?
I can think of something. So when I applied for colleges to the US, right, at that point in time, we didn't really have courier companies. I mean, like, courier
wouldn't
companies
know.
were
They're all
crazy
kids.
expensive.
Yeah.
So I only sent 2 applications by courier. The rest I sent by regular post, and I got rejected by both the applications I sent to courier. Thank you, Northwestern and Stanford. But
Stanford rejected you?
Of course they did.
Tomorrow when you're the biggest podcaster in Asia, I'm going to call Stanford up.
And, yeah.
I mean, that's not really
But,
possible.
uh,
Guy in
Stanford.
Stanford. Yeah.
But all my other applications, basically, I did through a post office. None of them reached the colleges, like
Wow.
not at all, right? So I mean, like, basically, the guy at the post office just took the stamps off and just kept them, right?
I had a... Sorry.
No, so that's not the kind part. That's actually the evil part.
Told
Right?
us was wondering.
The kind part is when I went to the US and I went to a couple of colleges. Most of them were like, no, nothing doing. But then at one college, I went and they said, go talk to this professor. And then I spent like hours with that professor, and the professor got me in finally, and that's how I went to University of Delaware. So I think that's like probably
That's
the
really kind.
nicest
I
thing.
almost slept, but it was nice.
No, but I
It
never.
was nice.
I didn't know
Kind
her.
things are boring.
Yeah.
Kind things are terrible. But
Yeah.
my kind thing is not boring. I'll tell you the truth here.
Yeah, the post
At
office story is much more interesting than the professor story.
Yeah, evil's fun.
At the airport once, a blind man came up to me because he heard me talking and said, I love you. You're the best comedian I've ever known, this and the other. I really love you, and you made my life better. And then he said, Sajid Khan, thank you so much. I thought, in a sense, for a little while there was kindness, and then it was not. But for me,
Even sighted people mistake you for Sajid.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Including Farah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. One last question.
Are you
which I
mad?
think,
This is the longest show ever.
No,
Okay,
it's
come
not. We're not that long.
That's not how you get the premium subscribers.
on. You haven't added the rant of 4 minutes. It's 50 minutes.
This next question is only for premium subscribers.
All right. Cyrus, what is... so this is from Hitesh Patel from Navi Mumbai. Cyrus, what is the best foreign trip you ever had, and have you ever been to Vegas?
No, but you have.
I haven't been to Vegas.
Did he mention
Vegas.
he's from Navi Mumbai?
He did, yeah,
Which is
Hitesh
not a
Patel
foreign
from
trip.
Navi Mumbai.
It's still Mumbai.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just in case that's where you're going.
Not if Raghu's traveling.
No, but
That's
so
a
my
foreign
favorite foreign trip has been Kenya and Tanzania.
For
yeah?
the safari.
Yeah, safari.
Oh, you went
Two
to
things.
Tanzania?
Yeah, because just being around animals all the time, which makes me happier because, I can relate. I mean, ultimately when you see a baboon scratching his ass and the other baboons don't make a big deal out of it, I don't know why my wife gets angry about these things. We have a baboon at home. Although
That's
you
what
should talk
you're
about
calling
your
the
parents
kid
like
now?
that. Yeah, I know. But coming back, it was lovely. It was so different and fabulous. And for me, the best part is on day 3 because let me tell you the regime. It's like, discipline. They wake you up at 5 o'clock, 5:45, you have to be standing near the van. You go and sight for 2-3 hours, the animals, you come back, then you have a break. 4 o'clock, you go for your second sighting. So let's say we're doing this for 4 days in a row. On day 3 morning, Kunal Vijayekar finally says, I can't stand another fucking animal. And there was another lovely moment for us there because you converge on a kill. This lion, the radio is out, and they're all talking kill. So you come there, and the lionesses have killed something, and we get. So there are 4 vans, and then we're all taking pictures because it's really your hair on your head stands up, not head but neck, and then you're looking at it, and then I hear a voice, a small boy, and he must have been definitely from Gurgaon, and it went straight to his father saying, Papa, dekho tiger. Only we can do that. We all that money, you bring them to Africa. There are no tigers in bloody Africa, and Bunty is going and Bunty says, Papa, dekho tiger. You're an idiot. It costs so much. I think that's it. Are we done?
What about you? Best foreign trip you ever had?
Oh, many actually. But recently I went to South Africa to shoot Skulls and Roses.
Plug it, brother. We're all plugging. Skulls and Roses.
Where did you go to shoot?
South Africa.
What show did you go
golfing
to
town
shoot?
called Nice Now.
He doesn't get it. Okay, that's right. That's one of the things we do.
Yeah.
Skulls and Bones, right?
Skulls and
Rajiv?
Roses.
What's it called?
Skulls and Roses.
Where is it playing?
We're helping you, brother.
Where do people listen? Where do
It's
people
on
watch it?
Netflix,
Let him
right?
tell his story. Others is show
But I'll tell you the interesting Vegas story.
Okay.
We went there again on a shoot.
Yeah.
So it was my 10th anniversary.
Okay.
So after pack up and everything, me and my wife, you remember Susan, of course.
Yeah, still married, right?
Yes, still married.
Segue quickly. We used to go and together and fetch his that time Lady Love.
Yeah.
After a pack up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was forced to come along. I don't know why I was forced to come along, but then I realized later Delhi is such a big place that they have to drop me off. Nobody wants to go out of their way. I had to go through all this.
So it was an anniversary. So we said, okay, let's go out because early morning call time was there. So we said, okay, let's go out and party for a bit. So we went. There were the casinos and stuff, and we went to a club, which was a strip club. It was our anniversary, so I said, okay. You like where the story is going?
Tilted towards you.
Yeah. So my wife bought me a lap dance.
Oh, sweet.
That's great.
So that was that.
See, that's a good ending. The bad ending is if your wife does a lap dance. That's a bloody problem.
Not relating to these things, guys. It's me and Sriraam and Amit.
Have you been to
No,
Navi
I don't know,
Mumbai?
Amit, are you married?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But he's done lap dances. Have you had a lap dance?
That's for later without the mic.
Come, I'll give you one.
So, either of you guys, best foreign trips? Siddharth?
There's no I was just on a vacation recently.
Okay.
In London and Amsterdam.
Okay.
And obviously, the second time in Amsterdam.
Was probably your favorite time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is even every time.
Do you
we go to
realize how the
Amsterdam-
brown skin tourist is always called from the window by the girls in Amsterdam? For some reason, they just look at the brown skin tourist and say, that's the guy who's going to buy.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happens.
Yeah, that didn't happen. I was I tried some other new substances, so it was fun.
Oh, okay.
To try.
All right. It's okay. It's legal there. You can say what you want there.
There, yeah.
Right.
There, I did
Yes,
all
it's
when it was legal.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, I went to a store.
It's their porn in
Now,
Parliament.
Sriraam's story about life in Gone.
Like,
I have not traveled. I've
Southern
traveled to
Sudan.
2 foreign countries and
Which ones?
Singapore and Dubai. People don't even count.
Dubai is not
anymore, so
counted, yeah.
Singapore.
Actually, I've never been to Dubai in my life.
great.
See, there you go. If Amit's not been there,
I went this year,
Yeah.
actually.
Wow, show off.
No, just because you said
Yeah.
Dubai.
Yeah, I have Mia Khalifa's phone
I'm
number. What about
Sindhi. I
that?
have too much family in Dubai.
Really?
So,
Oh, wow.
so
All
I
the
don't like
gold.
to go there.
Right,
With
fair enough.
family.
Okay, I've lost the porn in Pornhub now. Should we
Yeah.
move on?
What is your story?
Yeah. Oh, but I don't know. Okay, so Singapore, it was, I don't know.
Okay. Tell us your bloody story.
All right, cool. I think we're good
I
then.
think we're good. You keep telling us the story.
That was my
With
story,
Edmund
guys.
Benedict.
That's all. I went to
Lovely
Singapore.
stuff,
Like,
Sriraam.
yeah.
The best story ever.
Oh.
Let me tell you, Singapore, fine
That's my
place for a young
favorite.
man.
My go-to story
There
to
you
get,
go.
Cyrus.
Yeah,
It's
there you go.
interesting you mentioned that.
Orchard Way. I grew up there.
Orchard Road.
Shelton Way.
I used to live in Orchard Road.
Wasn't our office there in Singapore?
No, that was in Hong Kong. No.
Shelton
It was
Way. I remember the
next
because I
by.
took the taxi over to him.
yeah,
Orchard Road
it's
से
walking-
Shelton Way.
yeah,
Orchard
yeah.
Street.
Orchard Street.
Udaipura से हमारा hotel,
Orchard
one of
Road,
the hotels
yeah.
nearby.
Orchard
Lane.
Road. Orchard Road. Yeah, Street, Lane Road. It's all the same.
All right, good night.
All right.
Bye. Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Janice, what do you think couples did before TV was invented?
I don't know, go for walks on the beach, long drives, fancy dinners, have more sex maybe?
But what did we do when we decided to move in together? We debated between the Chromecast and the Fire Stick.
We gave up on sleeping early so we could stay up watching true crime shows.
We got ourselves 3 cat babies.
And basically became the cutest couch potatoes around.
Okay then.
In case you guys still haven't got it, we are a TV crazy, Netflix loving, binge watching Mr. and Mrs.
I'm Anirudh Kuha.
I'm Janice Sequeira.
And if like us, you snort TV for breakfast, lunch and dinner, this is the podcast for you.
Tune in every Thursday on the IBM podcast app or wherever it is that you get your podcast from. This is
Mr.
and Mrs.
Binge Watch.
How many times have you motivated yourself to improve your sleep, or lose weight, or be more productive? How many times have you failed? Hi, my name is Ashton Doctor. Tune into my show, The Habit Coach Podcast, where we focus on creating small, tiny habits to improve your life instead of those big, impossible tasks. So make listening to me a habit every Monday, Wednesday and Friday on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com or on your favorite podcasting app.